Okay, see, we will have another video, and in this one I'm going to, as I was discussing in my previous one, that we are going to discuss how basically right row and right rows, these two functions you use in connection with writer object. Okay, right row and right rows, how they are making a difference. Let's see that. Okay, uh, here is a small program that I wrote for you. Look at this. Here what's happening is I opened a file in writing mode, a CSV file, and new line. I told you in my previous video what is the purpose of new line, so that by default that extra line doesn't come in between the a particular chunk of information. And then we have taken the writer object. Okay, this is my writer object, right? Writer object is linked with the file object f by using the writer function. Writer function comes under CSV package, CSV module. Now, here there is a list for us. Look at this, it's a nested list wherein every element of the list is also a list. Okay. And that inner list holds information about a particular person, a student, as his roll number and his percentage. Okay. Now, if I use write row function to, with the help of my writer object, if I write this information st, we'll be able to write the whole thing. Okay, there is no doubt about it. But see how it writes. Okay, I will just run this program, run it. Okay, when we run this program, look at this. It's showing the output. You can see it's basically a complete list is the output. Wherein, look at this, every element is a list. Okay, very weird way it's showing the output, and I can show you a better way of understanding it. I have just created the file. Look at the file name. The file name which we created this way is xyz.csv. Now here is my xyz.csv, and you look at the file and see how it is being written. If you look at the thing from the notepad view, you will get to know. Look at this here. Every information is written like a, I wanted every information to be separated. Like here, comma is separating. The comma has been, because of the CSV nature, the comma has come in between the records. If I imagine that this is a record of a person, right? Here, every row is a kind of a list, fine? Every information is a list. Now, this way fetching the information might be very, very difficult, might be difficult for us, because when you will read it in a continuous manner, it is always better to have one piece of information and then separate out the informations that is there within a list, which I have shown you in the previous video by using unpacking of the list. Fine. So unpacking will be much easier if we can do it one piece of information written in one line kind of thing. Now you saw that if you use right row, then the whole information is written like a row. Here everything is a row. It's not different rows, right? But if you go for right rows, now just see what happens. I will just change into right rows. Okay, right rows means all the rows which are available. Here actually right rows means that all the rows means all the elements of the list are to be written. And when they will be written as a single piece of information. That means in one line we'll find one information. Okay, if I run this program, look at this, what happens. Okay, you can see here that here every piece of information is coming in a list, but in all in different lines. Now here what will happen, if I want, I can easily segregate the values. I can easily unpack the values into different variables. For example, I tell you that in this this whole information, go through it and find out the students who got more than 80%. Then you'll have a tough time if they are all together. Rather than that, if they're in one information together, one information in one line, then it will be easier for us to unpack because it's the list. Now, individual elements here are elements of the list. So I can easily unpack and view it. Okay, now let's have a look at the XYZ file because I rewrote it So now obviously I'll be able to see a different kind of view in XYZ. Look at the XYZ now. Again, I will use Notepad to open it. Look at this now. Every piece of information is written like a separate line. That means every list is taken, every element is taken, which is the list, and every element is written in one line. So this way, the fetching the values later, if when we read, would be much easier for us. Fine. I'm closing it down. I will show you another program and I will show you how I made use of it. But I'm not saying that right row cannot be used. In fact, the program which I'm going to show you now, here I have used right row only. Did not make use of right rows. What I have done, why confidently I used right row, I will just tell you. But let's see first what I have done. I have taken a file abcd.csv. I open. Now, imagine, don't you think it will be better if we have all these messages, all this information, right, like this way, fine? Imagine they are all in different lines. Don't you think it will be better to have, a kind of heading before this? Like if we can write student name, roll number, percentage, then it will look like a kind of, database table. Fine. So with this idea, what I have tried, let me close this one. This is not required anymore. Uh, with this idea, what I've done, I have taken a row one, I've taken a list basically, and I wrote name, roll number, percent. Three string values I put here as elements. I wanted these three things to be the heading of a CSV file. The heading of a CSV file. Heading of a CSV file means these three things will come as the heading of the values which will be stored thereafter. So I did my writer object. Writer object, you know how to do. CSV.writer function is used, and that is how my writer object and file object are clubbed together. Fine. Now this writer object dot write row, row one. That means this particular row will be written at the top of the file abcd.csv. Okay, so heading is written. Now what I have done, I have taken a loop which works, it will work 4 times, you can easily make out. And I have taken a blank list. Okay, what am I going to do with the blank list? I have taken user's name, a student's name, roll number and percentage, three different values. And these three different values, I wrote it down like different elements of a list, and I copied into the blank list. So row now will be a list having the name, roll number, and percentage as its three elements. Now what am I doing? I'm writing this as write row row. That means a particular row will be written. Where it will be written? Obviously it will be written down below the first one, that is name, roll number, and percentage. So name, roll number, and percentage, if you look at the file later, we'll see that name, roll number, percentage will be like a heading, and under this the remaining four students information will come, so that it has a look of a database table kind of thing. Fine. There's no other reason I did that. I just thought that a heading will be a good idea. Fine. Now what I have done, actually I wanted to do the reading, or rather kind of searching. Let me tell you here from the CSV file, as far as your syllabus says, do only reading, writing and searching. More than that will not be required, because only these three things are mentioned in the syllabus. So I've done the reading come searching. Searching is a kind of reading only, right? So I've tried to read the file, and what I've searched for, I displayed the students' information, those who scored more than or equal to 80%. That is what I've tried to search here. So how did I do that? Obviously, for that you have to unpack the values of a particular line and see which student has scored more than 80% or exactly 80%. Now, here one problem was in my CSV file, one line was heading. So from here, I cannot fetch the values of numeric values out. Like in other rows, what will happen? The roll number values will be, if you look at the file, for example, I already have ABCD, I created something, but still you can have a look at it, okay? See, there are, oh, it's blank. I did not do it anything. Fine, let me run it, then I will tell you what I mean to say. Let me run it first, then I will again come back. Enter the name. So I wrote a name, I wrote a roll number, I wrote the percentage, okay, second name, Okay, again a roll number and a percentage. Third name, say another name, fine, and a percentage. I put, it's giving, sorry, I gave a wrong value. I think I wrote roll number and I gave a decimal value. That's why it's giving error. Let us run it once again. Sorry for the inconvenience. Let us run once again, then we will be able to justify with the things. Okay, this is our first name, this is our first roll number, and this is our first percentage. Second name is here, second roll number is here, second percentage is here. This is our third name, third roll number, and third percentage. And we have, I guess, one more. Okay, this is my last name, and this is my roll number, and this is my percentage. Say this is my percentage. So look at this here. Only one person is scoring more than 80%, right? So look at this. Only this person's name has been displayed. Okay, because my job was to find out who all got more than 90%. That to display that respective message. So in doing so, what I have done, look at this. I have taken a variable count, and every time look at this here while reading it. This is my reading object, reader object. So when you write csv.reader function and club it with the file object, what happens? The entire data comes as, you can say, as a different list, elements of a list to this particular object. So when you write for p in for obj, okay, it means as long as it is possible to find out a list. Okay, so first line will be the first list here. Okay, and in the first list, like p is my first list, right? So first list means if I take three variables here, so I'll be able to unpack those values. Okay, and when I unpack these values, basically I checked if the value is more than 80%. But here one small problem was there. I had to check the value of count, because when count is equal to 1, pay attention to this very carefully. When count equal to 1, count is increasing. First time when this for loop worked, count became 1. Count 1 means I'm reading the heading. So from the heading, obviously, I cannot take out any, I cannot unpack the values. Okay, because for unpacking, I have to use the numeric things, and then I have to find out who is more than 80%, who is less than 80%. So that doesn't make any sense, because these are just strings. So when it is count equal to 1, that means when I'm reading the heading, what I've done, I have unpacked the values, but I've just printed the values exactly the way they are. So first case, name, roll number, and the percentage, these three headings, they get printed as it is. But else means I'm talking about if count is not 1. Count is not 1 means I'm reading the next records. That means where actually the information are kept, information are stored. So when the information are done, unpacking is done anyway. But what I've done, I've taken the float part of the percentage, and I'm checking it that after unpacking, if the percentage value is more than 80. Okay, so with another if I had to write it, I did not put any else with that, because otherwise I don't want to display anything. So if the float part, that is after converting this percentage value into float, if it is more than 80%, then I'm going to display the result. That means we display the complete information. That is whatever I have unpacked, NM, roll number, and peer, that will give me all the values. So that is how all the students, those who got more than 80%, are being displayed. So you can, I will just give you a small assignment on this. You can try out. I will put it in the WhatsApp group. Just do the reading and writing. I think that will be more than enough from this CSV file topic. Okay.